You know those flimsy plastic grocery bags we always see flying around, like stuck in trees or in rivers? Well, in California, those are soon going to be a thing of the past.
Yeah, that's right. Come 2026, California's going to have a new law in place, a total ban on plastic bags at grocery checkouts.
So this isn't the first time California's tried to tackle this, is it? They've been ahead of the game on this kind of thing before, haven't they?
For sure. Back in 2014, California tried a partial ban, but it kind of left this loophole where stores could still sell those thicker plastic bags, the so-called reusable ones. But honestly, how often do we remember to bring those to the store?
Yeah, I'm guilty of that myself. I've got a ton of them at home, just sitting there. So this new law sounds a lot stricter. What are the big changes we should be aware of?
The biggest one, I think, is that it closes that loophole with those thicker, reusable bags. They were technically reusable, yeah, but they usually just got used once or twice and then tossed, adding to the plastic problem.
Hmm.
The new law gets rid of that option entirely.
It's interesting how California seems to be leading the way on this kind of environmental policy. What do you think's behind that? Is it because they're particularly vulnerable to climate change, or are there other factors?
I'd say it's probably a mix of things. They're definitely on the front lines of climate change with the wildfires and the droughts, so there's definitely a feeling of urgency there. But they've also got a powerful environmental lobby and, well, a real culture of innovation that kind of pushes the state to come up with solutions.
And this ban really feels like it could spark a wave of new ideas for eco-friendly alternatives. But before we go there, I think it's important to get why this ban exists in the first place. What's the urgency?
It all boils down to the sheer scale of plastic bag pollution and the damage it does to the environment. These things can take like hundreds of years to decompose, and in the meantime, they're just wreaking havoc on our ecosystems.
We've all seen those sad pictures of sea turtles tangled up in plastic or trying to eat it.
Exactly. And that's just the stuff we see. Then there are the microplastics, these tiny pieces of plastic that come from the bags breaking down. They end up in the water we drink, the soil our food grows in. It's like we're choking the planet with plastic.
It's a scary thought when you put it like that. And I guess it's not just a California thing, is it? I mean, there's a big push all over the world to do something about plastic pollution.
Yeah, totally. California might be leading the way here in the U.S., but there are lots of other states taking action too. 12 states now have some sort of ban on plastic bags. And it's not just states on the coasts either. We're seeing it in places like Texas. Even inland states are getting on board.
It's good to see so many places acknowledging the problem, but it does make you wonder how much impact can these bans actually have? We were looking at a study before, and it showed that even with the 2014 ban, people in California were still using tons of plastic bags.
It's tough, you know. It's really hard to change people's habits. Just banning bags won't solve everything.
Yeah.
But these bans are a really important first step. They raise awareness, they force us to rethink what we're doing, and hopefully they encourage us to find solutions that are, actually sustainable.
And those solutions are starting to appear, aren't they? We're seeing more companies trying out compostable materials and really innovative packaging.
Absolutely. And that's what's so exciting about this. This ban could really push innovation forward, not just when it comes to bags, but in how we think about packaging and waste in general. Just imagine a future where those single-use plastics are just a bad memory and we've replaced them with solutions that are like truly sustainable and circular.
That's a future I can get behind. But bringing it back to the present, what do you think this new law will actually look like in California?
Well, from 2026, no more plastic bags at checkout. That means we'll all have to get used to bringing our reusable bags, something I'm sure we could all be better at.
I know I could. I can just imagine everyone rushing to buy reusable bags before 2026. But in all seriousness, it might make people think more carefully about their shopping habits overall.
I hope so. And of course, there's the impact on businesses too. They'll need to adapt to find ways to package and sell their stuff without using those single-use plastics.
And that could lead to some really cool innovations. But it also makes you wonder, what happens to all those reusable bags? Do people actually use them again and again, or do they just get stuffed in a drawer somewhere?
It's kind of funny, right? We talk about reusable bags, but how often do they actually get reused? They end up shoved in a drawer or lost in the car.
Yeah, it's like we have good intentions, but then real life gets in the way. But maybe this new law will be like a wake-up call or something.
Right. Imagine you're at the checkout, you've forgotten your reusable bags again.
Yeah.
And you either got to pay for a paper bag or carry all your groceries out by hand.
Okay, I can picture that, and it's kind of funny. But yeah, I see what you mean.
It's all about creating those little moments where it's actually easier to do the right thing,
Exactly. And if it means less litter, cleaner beaches and parks, it's got to be worth it.
It's about changing how we think, really, moving from just thinking about convenience to thinking about conservation.
It's about, like, taking responsibility for the impact we have, and I hope this is just the start. If we can make a change with something as common as the plastic bag, what else can we do? What other single-use plastics can we tackle?
That's the big question, isn't it? This new law in California, it's a huge step, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. We got to keep asking ourselves, where else can we cut down on plastic? What everyday things can we find different solutions for?
And that's something for all of us to think about. We've been talking about California's plastic bag ban today, but this isn't where the conversation ends. Look around you, think about your own life, your own habits. What small changes can you make to use less plastic? It might feel insignificant, but every wave starts with a ripple, right?